Hey, yo, what's good, gang? It's your boy Cairo getting back with another one. Make sure you tune in and subscribe. This this is different. This is not a reacts. This is just me talking. So, if you feel you know something about these questions, help me out, bro, because I need some answers. I need the answers. You heard me. Look, so I don't be like. Hold on. Yeah, you don't want to get monetized because of the background sounds. You feel me? Anyways, so like I was saying, I be checking on the Flash. I've been watching the Flash over and over, and bro, I most definitely, cause I need to know this.
Flash possessed superhuman speed and the ability to think at extraordinary speeds. During the Silver Age, he was described as faster than the speed of thought and was capable of running at 10 times the speed of light. However, when he pushed himself further during Crisis on Infinite Earths, he appeared to waste away as he converted into pure energy, traveled back in time, and was revealed to be the very bolt of lightning that gave him his own power. Barry's speed allows him to vibrate between dimensions and manipulate the Speed Force energy he generates. He can create cyclones, control electricity, manipulate magnetism, generate blinding light, and disrupt other speedsters' connection to the Speed Force. He is immune to telepathic attacks and can absorb large amounts of information through speed reading. Barry also possesses a protective aura from the Speed Force, granting him durability, enhanced metabolism, regenerative healing, and the ability to speed up time around him. My boy Barry Allen, also known as the Flash, possesses superhuman speed and the ability to think at extraordinary speeds. During the Silver Age, he was described as faster than the speed of thought and was capable of running at 10 times.
Damn, that is a lie. I never knew Flash could do all that. Who can beat the Flash? Alright, bet.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
The Flash is one of the most powerful superheroes in the DCU.
Yeah?
He is not just fast. He is fast enough to reverse time and capable of interdimensional travel. Yet, he is not unbeatable. There are a number of characters who could potentially defeat him. So today, we'll be ranking characters that Flash can defeat and 5 he'd lose to. Please note that we are comparing the DCU Flash against movie and TV characters and not their comic or manga counterparts. Let's begin with the speedsters. Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic has abilities that give him an edge in any fight, like his spin attack or shooting from his quills. In Sonic the Hedgehog 2, he becomes near indestructible, where he can turn his thoughts into reality and possibly perform various other incredible feats on a whim. However, Sonic's speed and his various feats are only useful if he could find a way to beat Flash's ability to phase through objects, as Flash can easily phase through solid surfaces or even attack while phasing. Moreover, a fight between these two would ultimately come down to a game of inches.
I highly doubt that. I think Sonic's losing. I mean, if no boost ups, if no boost ups, the only person that needs boost ups, who has boost ups, is Sonic himself. Like the rings and the emeralds, those are boosts. Barry doesn't need that. He could work off of just might of will and its own self. Like, I'm thinking Barry's taking this. It's not equal.
Number 9. A-Train. The fastest member of the 7. He can run at speeds of up to Mach 1. However, A-Train is not as experienced as the Flash, and he does not have the same range of powers. In a straight-up race, A-Train would likely be able to keep up with the Flash for a while. but eventually the Flash would pull away and win. Even if they fought, Flash can outmaneuver him with his incredible speed. Number 8.
Yeah, I got Flash for that one too, bro.
Quicksilver.
Okay. Why's that Quicksilver? Nah, I need to hear his buffs, bro. I remember.
Quicksilver is a mutant with a speed physiology. He can casually outrun the bullets. His speed is so immense that he was able to save all of the inhabitants in the X-Mansion during the explosion. This feat recorded the speed of Mach 3,581. However, Flash is unimaginably faster than Quicksilver. He has basically infinite speed at his disposal. The Flash could easily dodge Quicksilver's attacks, and even use his speed to attack Quicksilver from behind. Number 7.
Why he not saying the buffs? Fuck. I need to hear the buffs, bro.
Bro, this is the new era of auto-tune.
My way, oh.
Who's the fastest man alive? Did Marvel create the fastest being in the entire universe, or was it DC with their Flash that forever changed the definition of fast? Well, that's why we're here, to find out who's actually the fastest. So, here is the ultimate speedster.
Alright, let's get this straight. No one's beating the Flash, bro. I mean, until I make my my manga, Flash, he's unbeatable, bro. He's unbeatable.
Battle Quicksilver versus the Flash, who is faster. Let's dive right into it, shall we? Comics or movies, shows.
Barry Allen is...
Before you kill us in our sleep, let's just look at some of the data. That's why we wanted to know what their first top speeds are. If we look at the first
Bro,
issue
did
of
you
The Flash,
see that?
which
He
came out
stopped
in
her
January of
so
1940,
fast.
we realized that it was actually Jay Garrick who was introduced
He
as the
stopped
Flash in
time.
the comics. He gained superhuman
Everybody
strength
just
after
stopped.
inhaling hard water vapor when he fell asleep in the lab. He then realized that he has unmatched speed.
So wouldn't she just disappear though? If he moving that fast, they probably just disappeared. And everybody's like, oh. Oh. The Flash. I knew it, he was here. He's taking them both. They vanished in a blink of an eye, bro. Think about it, because you can't freeze time, because I still have to perceive time no matter how fast you are. I myself still have to perceive time, bro. So think about it. In our life, in our reality, bro, the Flash, if he actually existed, we would still have to perceive time, bro. Or else we would have memory loss, deja vu, like shit like that nature. It's crazy, bro. Crazy.
Realizing that he can use this power for good, he actually becomes the Flash who can run in front of bullets and save people from getting hurt. The speed that Jay possesses, not counting on the Speed Force, is equal to 770 miles per hour. So that kind of gives us a little start. But what about Barry Allen? Yeah, he's the actual Flash that we've grown to know and love. Even though Jay was first, we will be talking about Barry here. So if we look at the first issue when he woke up from the 4-month coma and started fighting for good, then we will realize that his speed was much slower than it is now. As for their fastest moments, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Before we do, let's look at Quicksilver's starting speed in the comics. He started out as a kid who got incredible power when he was exposed to high evolutionary's isotope E.
Okay.
Quicksilver could then reach speed of Mach 2, which is equal to 7,672 miles per hour. If we look at Jay Garrick, that's about 10 times faster, but that's not nearly as fast as Barry's speed. So, who's going to be the winner here? For that, we'll also have to look at their speeds in the shows and movies. Again, Barry Allen is a much more popular superhero, so he appeared in both movies and had 2 TV shows made about him. So, in the movies, we've seen him run alongside Superman, who actually is one of the fastest aliens alive. Regardless if they would run, like
Alien,
actually
remember
putting
that.
one foot in front of the other,
He's an alien.
then there's no doubt that Barry Allen would win. The only way Superman would ever have a chance of beating Barry would be if he flew across the track. All of this just means that Superman and the Flash were going way past the speed of light. But what about Quicksilver? When we're talking about Quicksilver in the movies, we have to mention one of the coolest scenes in all of movie history. It was the one where he poetically saves Magneto and Charles from the police officers by having a poetic run across the prisons.
You asked for more ways to create, so we made a major update. Sleeve printing is now live.
Kitchen, moving fired bullets, tasting sauces, and even kicking the crap out of police officers with a single push of the finger. That scene was epic. That was pretty much the fastest he's run in the movies. But wait a minute. How can he move already fired bullets when we all know how he died in Avengers Age of Ultron? But you see,
They hold that nigga. Yo, when I see that Quicksilver would have been the best addition. The best addition, bro. But yo, they hold this nigga. Yo, they moved this nigga. This nigga said, guys, I'm gonna say it. Oh, the boy, my glad I your boss, my gun.
that's the thing. There isn't one single version of Quicksilver. The different directors create different versions of the same character. In one, he's playing with explosions and bullets. In the other, he barely has enough time to save a child and he dies from actual bullets. And it wasn't just one bullet. And it's the same with Barry Allen. In the movies, we saw him running past the speed of light in the show. We don't even recognize him. That Barry can only run at speeds no higher than 2,532 miles per hour. And this is more than enough for him to travel through time. So what gives? How are we ever going to determine who's the fastest?
Did you just hear what you just said? Barry runs way faster than that. If the nigga ran so fast that he turned into light, bro, this nigga is technically the Big Bang. His own lightning that struck him. His own lightning. He was his own lightning that struck him. Remember that video that we just watched? His own lightning that struck him, bro. That gave him his powers. Barry Allen could way faster.
Well,
than
to
that.
do that, we'll have to look at the top speed. What's the top speed anyone has ever assigned to these two? And for this, we'll not discriminate. It could be anything from movies, TV shows.
I'm telling you, we just need one director. Just one director to fucking go crazy with this shit. Go all out like, yo, this shit is not making no sense. First he was in this scene. First he was standing here. Now he's in this scene. Like, this scene. Like, yo, we just need one fucking director to go fucking stupid, bro. Oh my gosh, that shit would be crazy.
Comics, everything is fair, as long as we figure out who the fastest man alive actually is. But first, we'll have to look at the Death Battle.
On the count of three.
Maybe you've heard of this YouTube channel called Death Battle. If you have, then you know that they have a video where they pin Quicksilver and the Flash against one another. First, they give us a little intro about the characters, and then they tell us all about their abilities before placing them in a digital ring and letting them brawl it out until one comes out victorious. And you know what? Watching the first few minutes of the animated battle, we thought, oh man, the Flash is actually going to lose. Quicksilver is actually whooping his butt. As soon as we said that, the Flash turned Quicksilver's artificial tornado against. Even though Quicksilver has much better fighting skills, he just simply didn't have the speed. The Flash gave him a good beating before teleporting him into the Speed Force. There, no one can beat the Flash. He reigns as king of the realm of speed.
You can tell me the nigga took him to the Shadow Realms? Bro. Nah, I'm done. This nigga got his own dimension, bro. What the fuck? This nigga got his own dimension where anything can happen. He is quicker than thought itself. That is how fast Barry Allen is pronounced to be, bro. He is more quicker than thought himself. And that shit right there is crazy.
Because that's the source of his power. As soon as Quicksilver entered this realm, he just knew that he would be done for. And yes, after a little more roughing, the Flash delivered his final blow. A lightning bolt. This sent Quicksilver flying halfway across the world and he got impaled on the sword of a samurai statue. But even though we've discussed a lot of the low speeds and who would win in a death battle, what are the ultimate speeds of these two? Who saved more people? First, we'll talk about Quicksilver. He has been considered to run faster than sound and therefore he's considered hypersonic. At one point in the comics, he ran from the Himalayas to Indonesia and it only took him a few seconds. He's been known to have outran a lightning bolt and a lightning bolt travels at 3,700 miles per second. This would give Quicksilver a speed that is 17,499 times faster than the speed of sound. On top of all that, we know that he has once outran a radio wave, and those travel at approximately the speed of light. This means that Quicksilver can run near the speed of light. But what about the Flash? Well, you might think that...
Yo, DC, Smallville, The Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, Black Lightning. Bro, the shows that they come up with. Hold on, let me just rephrase that. The Flash and Smallville, Superman, Destroy. If you haven't seen Smallville, I recommend you go watch that. It's a story about Clark Kent, Superman, the story of him growing up. I advise you go watch that. That shit right there is fire. I'm telling you, go watch that.
This is pretty insane, but the Flash has been portrayed several times running faster than the speed of light. But the craziest had to be when he saved 500,000 people from a nuclear explosion in Korea. There were 532,000 people in the country. He carried about 1.5 people into a remote location 7 miles away from the explosion. This means that he made 354,667 70-mile trips, which will add up to 24,826,690 miles. All of this had to be done in 0.00001 microseconds. Doing some calculations, we'll realize that he can travel 2.5 quintillion miles per second, which is equal to, are you ready for this? 13 trillion times faster than the speed of light. Jaw freaking drop.
Nah, I gotta make somebody faster than that. I'm telling you. Yo, the thing I have in my head, bro, is crazy. Once I drop my manga, bro, is lit. Oh yeah, make sure you remember to check that out when that come out. Make sure that you make that motherfucker go viral. Make sure you make that motherfucker your first priority. Gods of Cyrus. When I drop that bitch, make sure you go buy the first manga, bro. Make sure that you was the first one there. I might give the first manga for free. You feel me? But the other ones you gotta buy. But yeah.
Final results. Well, from...
Bro, to rewind time while you're running forward? That is just crazy. Rewinding time while you're running forward. Meaning you're placing You're already creating a different universe every step you take, bro. Because you could turn this way, you could turn that way. If your thought pattern strikes, if it goes from all right, wait, I'm about to go do this first. Let me do this. Or you know what, man? And you just indecisive, bro. It's over for that. It's over for that.
What we saw previously, the answer is pretty obvious. I mean, Quicksilver is pretty fast and he has a good heart. But even though he can run millions of times faster than the average human, as well as think millions of times faster, Barry has him beat. How do we know this? Well, that's because the Flash is capable of processing information in just a single attosecond. To give you a little comparison, the shortest time we as humans have been able to measure were 12 attoseconds. This man can think trillions of times faster than the average human. That means that...
You ever seen I Am Virgo? Barry Allen is so fast that he could normalize himself. You get what I'm saying? Like, he is a timekeeper. He could proceed time however fast he wants. If he starts speeding up his brain and his body reacts to it, he's disappearing back into the speed. He could stand in one place and move forward. How do you stand in one place and move forward? But this was a thing. This was the question I had. How does Barry Allen beat a teleporter? A teleporter, bro. So we about to check that out. This is where they bullshitting at, bro. This is why I don't want to list. Is the Flash faster than instant teleportation? Now we watching.
TikTok ads changed everything for us. We've generated
I
over
know
100,000 leads.
I know what y'all saying. The Flash beating teleportation.
Hello,
if this
and
nigga
welcome
really
to
beat
We're talking about comic books.
teleportation,
My name is Jordan.
I don't want teleportation.
The Flash is the fastest man alive. There's no doubt about that. However, in my recent videos on if he's faster than Superman and Shazam / Captain Marvel, whatever you want to call him, a lot of you guys were very eager to point out that one of the Flashes, namely Wally West, can actually run faster than instant teleportation. Yes, I am aware of this feat, but for the people who want to say that this is Wally West's ultimate demonstration of speed, they might want to actually read the book, or sit back and relax, because we're going to look over this storyline and put an end to this debate once and for all. When people talk about the Flash running faster than instant teleportation, they're typically talking about a storyline from 1998 called The Human Race, which has been featured in several versus debates across the internet and was given a lot of attention thanks to this video done by my good friend Tyler over on the Imaginary Axis. The Human Race was featured in The Flash Volume 2, number 136 through 138 in 1998 and was co-written by two industry legends, Grant Morrison and Mark Miller. The fact that Morrison had his hand in this means that things are going to get pretty weird, so buckle in. Okay, so the story begins with a couple of extra-dimensional gamblers coming to Earth, forcing the planet to choose a champion to take place in a great race of sorts. If the champion loses, forfeits, or decides not to participate, the planet would be instantly destroyed. Naturally, the current Flash of the era, Wally West, was chosen as their candidate. This actually appears to be a reference to the Golden Age characters Rock and Sorbonne, a pair of alien gamblers who have messed with Superman in the past, and actually roped him into racing Barry Allen with threats of destroying Earth and Krypton. Just a neat little side bit of trivia, but...
Nah, this nigga Ed hung up like 3 hours ago. 4 hours ago, maybe 5, I don't know, I think. I'm not sure. Hold on, I'm trying to see if Barry Allen could be the teleporter.
Back to the story. The Flash is transported to the radio world of Quiz, which exists separate from the various universes in the local DC multiverse. Its inhabitants are a race of beings made out of radio signals, the most notable of which being Crackle, a Sonic the Hedgehog-looking dude that was Wally's imaginary friend back when he was a kid. Turns out, though, that he's actually real. Because comics. Crackle is racing on behalf of Quiz, which, like Earth, was also being threatened by the Cosmic Gamblers. In fact, Crackle had beaten 6 champions before Wally. With the fate of both worlds on the line, Wally and Crackle race throughout all of space and time. But during a short rest, Crackle reveals that he has only survived this long by cheating. Crackle had the inhabitants of Quiz running non-stop, and he uses the kinetic energy built up from that to allow him to keep running on and on. He's basically having them literally run for their lives. This gives Wally an idea, though. He challenges the Cosmic Gamblers, who were unable to turn down a bet, that he could make it to Earth before they could. The deck was heavily stacked against Wally, since the Gamblers move instantaneously, meaning that he would literally need to be faster than that.
Huh? No, when you teleport, you leave time itself, because you're still. Because the moment you teleport, it's like you leave time, and then you reappear in the same exact second, within the same millisecond, bro. That's how fast teleportation is. So even if he was to start running, by the time I start teleporting, bro, I was already at my location. You know how quick is a blink of an eye, bro?
Regardless, the bet was struck, and Wally manages to convince all of Earth to run in unison. Every man, woman, and child, from average citizens to imprisoned supervillains, all join together for the sake of their world. This includes the kinetic energy generated by speedsters, and the near-speedster levels from beings like Superman. If that wasn't enough, though, Crackle gives Wally all of his speed in addition, which includes all of the kinetic energy of everyone on Quiz running in unison.
Huh? I'm just saying, Barry Allen better count his fucking days, because once I make my anime, bro, I'm making somebody that's beyond fast. Beyond fast. Bro, I wish I could tell you what I was gonna do, but you gotta be. When you read that manga and it gets to that part with the speed, nigga, just know it's gonna be over. Nah, I be hearing people say Wally's the fastest speedster. Like, bro, do you not know Flash could move faster than your thoughts? Exactly. They're wailing. Hold on, let me finish this YouTube video, bro.
As well. With all of this speed at his disposal, Wally managed to calculate the race down to the septosecond, and he made it back to Earth in time. But he still had a little bit more to spare. So in this spare time, he adjusts every single radio on Earth to the frequency of Quiz. This basically brought all of Quiz to Earth temporarily, which spared it from destruction when Wally ended up winning the race and not Crackle.
We're looking for strangers.
Bro, they made an imaginary person. Wally made an imaginary person.
This ultimately ended up being a victory for the Flash, and the Cosmic Gamblers moved on, never to be seen again.
Some shit that's built, that's made out of light itself, and it's fast.
There is no way that Wally West could have done this without all of the help that he received. Wally cannot run this fast naturally. And when you're analyzing characters' speed, strength, whatever, you have to make sure that you're not counting temporary power boosts, because that is the exception, not the norm. You need to find characters at their baseline.
Not so fast, Drake.
Tyler from the imaginary Axis?
That's right, I heard you were talking smack about the Flash.
Dude, really?
Just give me a moment. I feel like I'm partially responsible for the confusion going on here, and I wanted to make a few things clear about the story. First of all, I feel like a lot of people have misconstrued the meaning of faster than an instant. Try to understand that in our universe, we consider an instant the amount of time it takes a photon, the fastest thing in the universe, to cross a Planck length, the shortest distance in the universe. This is the smallest amount of time that exists for us simply because there's nothing at all fast enough to move during this time frame. Secondly, when this flash feat gets tossed around, it almost always has this number attached to it. Again, that's my bad since that number usually comes from a video I made.
So, you interrupted my video to tell me that your calculations were wrong?
Oh no. First of all, those weren't even my calculations in the first place. I mean, I checked them to make sure they were accurate, sure, but I'm not here to admit the calculations were wrong. I came here to point out that they are extremely low estimates.
What?
The calculations used in that video purposefully assume the lowest possible estimate for how far the Flash moved during his run, which is if he crossed a distance equal to the Earth-Moon system during a conventional Planck instant, when in actuality, we have no idea where he was in the universe at that time in the story, so the number is probably exponentially bigger. Here's how fast he would be going if we keep the Planck instant number, but assume he was on the other side of the observable universe.
Holy crap.
Yeah, and if you add up all the speed created by everybody on Earth and Quiz, you only get this.
Well, yeah, but that's still a lot.
Yeah, maybe, but it's nothing compared to this, or even this. Besides, Wally chose to speed steal from other beings in that story because at the
Yeah, that's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. It's just crazy. Yeah, it's just people describing his speed weird. It's hard to describe his speed, but he's fast. Yeah. Nah, he's fast. Like, cause think about it. If we would still have to perceive time, so he can never stop time. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm saying, like, for us, if he had to run past any of us, we would still have to perceive time. But to him, everything would look like it stopped. You get what I'm saying? But we would still be moving. But by the time we would even think to move a muscle, he's already halfway around the earth. You feel me? Yeah, I watched all 9 seasons. Even the one where they said he could walk on air.
Yeah, so you've seen that? No, there was an episode where they explained that speed where they said he could literally run, like he stops, like it's like you know, like when he runs, like you see, like when he first started running, you see, like they'll just show him like moving that fast, but then when you start seeing him like around season 7, season 8, when he runs, nah, he literally stops that shit, like he literally stops the shit. You feel me? Because remember when he first got his powers, everything was going slow down when the chemicals was all going up in the air.
Nah, but that's what I'm saying. I understand that part. But you see how when every time an alert came up and then he sped out the room, by the time their hair started, by the time they felt that backdraft, he was already at the scene. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, no, you're right. To us, it'll look like that he just ran. But to him,
No, it would look like he just disappeared until we get the backlash of the wind.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what you got to see the after fact. Cause look, you won't feel it until he leaves. That's what I'm saying. Like you gotta see, like when he runs, like when you see when he was zoom out, you'll see like it'll be like 2 seconds later the hair starts blowing back again and shit. Like I understand what you're saying. Like when he runs, they all start fanning. But if you really look at it, like, when he starts to run and he's gone, their hair just starts flapping. That's when he's gone. Once he starts, they don't even know he left. You know what I'm trying to say? It was like, dang, you know, when he pops up, them niggas like, damn, where you come from?
Yeah. Hold on, let me finish this video.
Time, he was afraid of the Speed Force sucking him up like it did to Barry Allen in the past. Once he got more used to tapping into his powers, Wally was definitely seen going faster. Also, the
You
Speed...
see, that's what I'm saying. For him to be that fast, though, because they said he was so fast, he turned into light and was the same lightning that gave him his own powers. You heard that from the comics, right? Barry. Yeah, he ran so fast. He wasn't even running. So he just started turning into light, bro, and then became the Speed Force and the light that gave him his powers.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's how he came to Speed Force. That's what I'm saying. But like when he was running, he came to Speed Force because he wanted to go fast. He wanted to zoom. That's another person that was fast. You gotta look at. You gotta see that because when it was zoom had his own Speed Force. He has the negative Speed Force. So he was always faster than that. That's why you see it. That's why he said he's always faster because he had his own Speed Force. So when him and Sting used to run, he used to stop time. And then you'll see at a point, even like near the last couple episodes of season 9, you see him when he fought Zoom. He was like, "Damn, how you got so fast?" Zoom's paused. He's like, "Damn, you got that fast?" Because he into his own Speed Force. He said, "I got way faster." Because that's why he say he got faster because you gotta look at it. Zoom had his own Speed Force, so Zoom was stopping time when he was running. So Zoom was moving so fast, Flash paused. But then so Flash got faster, and he was fast and the old Speed Force. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Flash was his Speed Force is better than. So they say, yeah, when Barry was running so fast.
I bet we're gonna end it here. I'm gonna ask you, bro. Who do you think? Do you think Flash could beat a teleporter in a fight or a race?
That's what I'm saying. It depends because he fought a couple of teleporters. You know what I mean? He always won, but
You're right, but that's their hype. You feel me? From the best of their hype that they gave you, bro. Like, what do you think a teleporter would do to the Flash?
they'll sneak up on him. That's what they'll usually do. They'll sneak up and they'll set him up to sneak on him. Because once Flash stops, time is for everybody now. So if he stops, the teleport can teleport anywhere.
Yeah. Alright, gang. You heard it here. We don't know the debate. The question still stands. Is Flash enough to beat a teleporter? We don't know yet, but
He could beat a teleporter because he beat a couple of teleporters in his time. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, but that was his storyline. When you're the main character, so you kind of have the ability of chance. Oh, you have chance on your side. It's not like somebody's gonna make him lose. I still think a teleporter would do some justice. But definitely, this video has gone long enough. I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out, gang. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and all that good stuff. Peace.